Somewhere, right now, someone is paying a monthly fee to fully own their refrigerator. This is the subscription economy, a structural shift away from ownership toward paying repeatedly for access. You don't buy the thing, you rent the right to keep using it, indefinitely or until you cancel. On the business side, the draw is recurring revenue, money that arrives on a schedule, predictably, without requiring the company to sell you anything new. Accountants find this deeply comforting. Capital markets price recurring revenue higher than equivalent one-time sales. A company earning $10 million annually through subscriptions is worth more, on paper, than one earning the same through individual transactions. The math rewards the model. Follow that incentive long enough and you arrive here. Companies restructuring functional products, not to improve them, but to convert them into revenue streams that markets will value more generously. The product becomes a vehicle. Software companies moved first. In 2013, Adobe ended perpetual licensing for Creative Suite and migrated its entire product line to Creative Cloud subscriptions. They cited continuous updates and operational costs. The valuation bump that followed was real, and the industry noticed. Printers, refrigerators, cars, all have moved, in documented cases, towards subscription tiers. In 2022, BMW offered heated seats as an $18 monthly subscription in South Korea for hardware already physically installed in the vehicle. That's not a hypothetical, that's a product launch. This isn't exclusively a consumer phenomenon. In the UK, software and professional services sectors have both been migrating from one-off purchase models towards subscription arrangements. The boardroom is subscribing to the same logic as the living room. The consumer pitch is straightforward: access and convenience over the burden of ownership. You get consistently updated products. You sidestep depreciation. The moment a purchased asset starts losing value, the instant you acquire it. There's a persistent assumption worth auditing directly, that customers universally prefer owning over subscribing. The evidence doesn't support it. Millions of people have voluntarily traded ownership for access repeatedly across multiple product categories. Netflix and Spotify are the clearest evidence. Both provide access to libraries of content that would be logistically impossible to own individually. Subscribers chose this arrangement. Nobody forced them into a monthly fee for streaming audio. And the cumulative cost of a subscription, sustained over several years, frequently exceeds the cost of purchasing the product outright. The convenience is real. So is the premium you pay for it. Take BMW's heated seat subscription at $18 a month. Over 3 years, that totals $648 for a feature whose hardware installation cost is a fraction of that. The hardware is already in the car. The meter keeps running regardless. The business model sustains this gap because the steady stream of revenue covers operational costs, funds product development, and, critically, produces a valuation that a one-time sale cannot. The incentive is structural, not conspiratorial. When Adobe converted to Creative Cloud in 2013 and its market valuation climbed, pressure built across the entire creative software industry. Autodesk, Microsoft Office, and others followed within years. Holding out for a one-time sale model became technically a strategic liability. This is the mechanism. Markets price recurring revenue higher than ownership, so every product, given sufficient competitive pressure and investor attention, bends toward rent. The refrigerator doesn't subscribe to this logic voluntarily. The market does it for the refrigerator. The rollout didn't stop at software. HP's Instant Ink program charges a monthly fee and disables printing if the subscription lapses, even when ink cartridges are physically loaded. The printer still works. The permission to use it doesn't. There's a dimension of this model that ownership never had. The off switch, a product you own, keeps functioning regardless of your relationship with the manufacturer. A subscribed product can, in principle, stop working the moment payment lapses. Traditional ownership carried an implicit guarantee, permanence. The thing was yours. It worked on your terms. The subscription economy dissolved that guarantee. Access continues only while the commercial relationship does. Permanence is now a premium feature. Here's the actual product being sold in the subscription economy. Not the object, not the software, not the content library. The product is the ongoing commercial relationship itself. The object is merely the reason to maintain it. A subscribed customer is also a data-generating customer. Netflix's churn prediction model analyzes viewing drop-off, pause behavior, and cancellation signals to intervene before a subscriber leaves. The subscription isn't just revenue. It's a continuous information stream with a payment attached. It'd be easy to frame the subscriber as naive. That framing is inaccurate. For many products, the subscription delivers value that one-time ownership can't. Software updates, content libraries, maintenance coverage. The trade is real. The cost is also real. What the subscription economy changes practically is the unit of cost analysis. The relevant question is no longer the sticker price. It's the total expenditure over the expected lifespan of use. Those two numbers are frequently not the same number. Product design is shifting in a specific, documented direction. HP's Instant Ink program requires an active subscription for the printer to function, even when cartridges are physically loaded. The hardware is complete. The design choice is to make it dependent on the relationship continuing. Durability and self-sufficiency are no longer the goal. There's a counterforce worth naming. As subscriptions accumulate across every product category, consumers hit subscription fatigue, the point at which the total monthly outlay becomes visible and uncomfortable. The system's response to subscription fatigue has been bundling, combining multiple services under a single recurring charge. Apple One, for instance, wraps music, TV, storage, and fitness into one monthly fee, which is, structurally, a subscription for subscriptions. A perfectly logical solution if you follow the incentive. Which brings us back to the refrigerator from the opening. It's not an anomaly. It's the logical endpoint of a market structure that rewards recurring revenue over one-time sales. The refrigerator didn't choose this. The incentive chose it. Subscription fatigue is measurable. In 2023, industry tracking firm Antenna reported that major streaming services in the U.S. were experiencing record cancellation rates, with some platforms losing more than half their new subscribers within 6 months of sign-up. The model generates revenue and churn in equal measure. The practical audit finding: before accepting a subscription as the default, calculate the total cost across your expected period of use and compare it to the outright purchase price where one exists. The math is usually available. It's rarely displayed prominently. Companies have said this out loud. When Microsoft transitioned Office to a subscription model, executives explicitly cited recurring revenue's effect on valuation multiples in investor communications. The incentive wasn't hidden. It was in the earnings call. The audit finds the incentive because the incentive was never particularly concealed. Every product bends toward rent because the market says rent is worth more. Ownership still exists. It's just being repriced upward, quietly, into a premium tier. The refrigerator is simply being financially responsible. Audit complete. This audit is complete. The findings, as always, may be ignored.